of introducing you guys, because I already know her, but introducing you guys to the Dr. Kristal McGreggor. She is another person that is in my success family. So I'm going to go ahead and let her tell you all about herself. So go ahead, Chrissy.
Hi. Listen, first, thanks for inviting me to join you. But just a little bit background about myself. Originally from Jamaica, born and raised there, migrated to the States right after high school. And, came in, was just going to college and everything, attending Bronx Community College in New York. And then I got an athletic scholarship to Hampton University. So that's how I met Javon and Paris.
That's how y'all all know each other.
All these good people. Got it. Worked on my undergrad bachelor's in marketing. And then I graduated. Then I went back and I served as their coach. I served as Javon's coach, right? and now it's like he's coaching me. But it's
right.
all right.
Isn't that weird?
It's all good. It's all good. And so I went back to Hampton, served as the director of operations for the track and field program for several years before moving on to the University of Michigan to work on my PhD in sport management. And I just graduated this past May. And that's like the snippet of, the brief thing of who I am, where I'm from. I had my master's in sports administration from Hampton University as well. So my background is heavily tied into sports.
So with all of that, what brings you to the Retired in 365 family? You sound like you had a lot going on, but side note, that just goes to show trading's for everybody. Okay.
It's for everybody.
But what brought you to this point?
So, with the whole pandemic, to be honest with you, the pandemic, and I was having a conversation with Rayon. Rayon was one of my mentees when he was at Hampton, and we were having a conversation, and, he told me about it, but to be honest with you, I really wasn't like interested in it. And at first, I actually signed up my nephew. So my nephew signed up before I did. Right.
Oh.
And I was like, let me see if this works for you. If it works.
He was the guinea pig.
I still have reservations, man. But I saw that it worked for him, and I was like, all right, Rayon, tell you what. I think it was right after Rayon went P150. I was like, I'm gonna come on board. And I came on board. That was like 2-3 weeks ago. And yeah, and I'm absolutely loving it. Coming in, I really thought it was going to be difficult, that I would be lost or something, but being a part of Retired in 365 has definitely like removed that mindset, like just to be able to have people to pour into you, to mentor you, to support you, to answer questions, anything that you may have, like it's all here. And that's what I love, right? You have days when you wake up and you just don't feel, you're not motivated, but then I get on one of our calls and like, we're just going at it, right? Like y'all just pouring and uplifting. And so that's what I really love about this space and just being here. So that's, yeah.
Sorry, my phone was going off. But yes, I love the fact, because honestly, I wasn't skeptical, but I was skeptical for other reasons. Skeptical because so many other people were talking about it, and I didn't trust what they were saying because it was never explained.
Right.
But Javon explained it, and I feel like I'm the guinea pig because none of my friends that I personally know have signed up. A couple of them did, but then they ended up not doing it. My family hasn't signed up, so I feel like I'm gonna be that one, and hopefully, like you, they see the light and they come onto this side. So where do you see this taking you? Because even with all your success that you already have, like, how does this fit into that picture, doctor?
I think this is how I look at it. I see this as, one, it's an opportunity to learn, right? I enjoy learning. I didn't really understand what, Forex was before coming into this. I still don't know it in totality, but I've been able to be in spaces and conversations and doing, going through everything with Retired in 365 and being a part of IM Academy and stuff. So I'm enjoying that piece. When I think about what's to come, I want to grow. Coming in, I was just like, I'm going to trade and, make some extra money, but now I understand the business side, right? So why leave money on the table? Like it doesn't make any sense. And, my goal definitely is to make it to Chairman 10. Like that's one of my goals by the end of this year, to be honest with you. I've had these conversations with Rayon. I've had these conversations with Giovanna as well. And I know that it can be done. I prayed about it and I believe God is going to do it. And so for me, like, it's just being able to manage everything that's going on. And, I do a pretty good job with that. I worked on a PhD for 5 years. I have pretty dope time management skills. And so, but it's something that can be done. No matter how busy you are, it's something that can be done. Like right now, I'm planning to teach in the fall, like classes start in the fall, and I'm planning writing syllabuses and stuff, sending emails to students and all these things. But I'm still finding time to pick up my phone, enter a trade, make some money, and it's why not? It's so easy, right?
Right.
And so for me, like, I'm hoping that this will take off. I'm putting in the work. I believe to see my nephew growing it as well. He's only 17 years old.
Oh wow.
So I know it's going to be something good for him.
Mm-hmm.
A funny story is that since I've been in New York with my family, and my niece, she watches the training with me, right? And so she listened to it, Charles Starks and stuff, and so she would say certain stuff, and she would be like, "Do you know what that means, Auntie Chris? Do you know you're supposed to do this?" And it's so funny, and she's only 6, right?
That's
so
cute.
Right. So my thing is, like, when she gets older, like, I'm gonna start teaching this to her. Like, this is something you need to do. Right. So it's even looking at, finding ways to ensure that the generations who come, they have a way of making money and investing, and not have to go through the things that, we did. So yeah.
Right. And I think that's key. I love the fact that you touched on, even with like your busy schedule and you actually going back to teach in the fall, but still finding time, and not only time, but finding value in keeping this going. Like it's definitely not something that people want to play with or treat necessarily as secondary, because like you said, it's something you could teach to your niece. It's something that you can have 2 streams of income. It's something that could pay you more than anything else that you do. Doesn't mean that you neglect your other responsibilities, but you still and all find time because of the value in it. I love it. Thank you so much for explaining that.
I know it's gonna work. I want to be retired soon.
Girl, that's the thing, is the fact that we've seen other people do it.
Yes.
Then it's possible. It's not a wish.
Right. All right.
It's not a wish.
Absolutely.
So it's already done for you. My prayers are with you on that, because I'm right there with you on it. So I know that you said you're interested in becoming like Chairman 10 and all of that, which of course you already have leadership skills because you were a coach, or still are, and all of that. How do you handle also like your team, and how do you inspire them to just keep going?
Right. So I'm big on like communicating. I love to communicate. And so with my team right now, like, I check in on them daily, right? I tell them, you shouldn't go through this process feeling like you're lost, right? Or feeling like you have no support, because at the end of the day, if I can't answer a question, I have somebody that can answer that question for you. So communicate, talk to me. And so what I do is I literally reach out to them every day. Every morning I wake up, I send them a message. Hey, how you doing today? Where are you? How is it? How did you take any trades? Is it looking good? Like, did you make sure you manage your stuff, right? So we have these conversations, and then also having that space for them to even talk to me about areas that they're frustrated about, right? Because frustration is gonna happen. It happened to me. I tell Ryan all the time. I'm pretty sure he gets sick of me.
Javon too.
Right. But I allow them to be able to express that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, any way that I could assist them to grow in this and to help them with, whether it's talking to somebody else about this, because I know many of them are afraid to go out and to try to talk to somebody or tell somebody about this. And I'm like, listen, they can only tell you no, right? If they tell you no, it's okay. You pick it up and you keep on going, because I really believe that you can't get to us for you if you don't know how to handle no's, right? And so that's something that, I tell them they have to understand, and they'll find value in it, right? They'll find value in everything, because every time I get a no, it helps me, it pushes me to go even harder. Right. It pushes me to go even harder. So for me, I just communicate with them. I encourage them. I motivate them. And I tell them, like, I'm a phone call away. Anything that you need, no matter what time it is, you pick that phone up and you call me, and I'll answer. If I don't answer, I'll get back to you as soon as I see it.
Because the truth is, and this is what I literally just had a revelation about, is when people say no, they really don't know what they're saying no to.
Right.
Because of how they say no. And people think that because of the time that we're in, everybody asking them, hey, would you like to make money? Or, hey, do you want to grow wealth? Or, hey, do you keep your streams of income, your options open for extra streams of income? When people say things like that, they automatically think I'm gonna have to sell something, or you're trying to sell me something. They don't know that they're literally saying no to becoming the 1%. Stepping out of that 95% that makes up only 5% of the wealth,
right,
into that 5%, that 1% mentality, where you wouldn't have access to that before, but now you do. So you're literally saying no to leaving a legacy larger than you could ever imagine to your family.
Right.
So that's why I can't really take it personal, because they really don't know what they're saying no to. And that's why I love doing these lives, because it gives people the opportunity to see people like you who are very well accomplished, to see stay-at-home moms who are well accomplished, to see, because it's also not a quick come up.
No. And I think that's the first thing that, when I had this conversation with Rayon, that's what he told me. He's like, Kristal, like, that mindset, I don't want you to come in with things like, oh, you're going to do this and you're going to be rich by tomorrow. Right. And I think many people, like, many people have that mindset. Like, when I talk to some people, the first thing they're saying to me, oh, is this like the little pyramid scheme going around? Yeah, whatever that is. And I'm like, no, this is literally an opportunity for you to learn. Like, I think some people are afraid of learning, but that's a whole other conversation. Yeah. But it's an opportunity for you to learn, to develop a skill that no one can take away from you. Like, no matter what happens, you can literally pick your phone up, and based on that knowledge that you have, you can make money from that. Right. You get what I'm saying? And so for me, like, coming in, that was the first thing I took away. Like, I'm not going to wake up and be rich tomorrow, but I'll be a little bit better than I was the day before. Right? In some situations, in some cases, that may not be the case, because I might get greedy, right? and do stuff I'm not supposed to do, right? And lose. But at the end of the day, there's a way for me to increase, right? There's a way for me to grow, not just financially, right? And again, that's what I love about Retired in 365. Like, they develop us in every way: the spiritual, the mental, the emotional, the physical. This morning, Javon tagged me in a workout pic. I ain't worked out yet, but I'm gonna do it shortly.
So you better do it now that you put it out there. Facebook holds you accountable.
Right. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get it done. Right. And so I enjoy all of that. Like, they want to make sure that everything you're taken care of on every level.
Right.
So.
Right. Now, you being an athletic coach, athletics being your world, explain how important it is, how important a coach's role is in somebody's life. And having that right coach.
Yeah. Like, right coach. That's the key.
Yes.
I mean, having the right coach is definitely key. The same as a mentor, right? Because they've went before you. They've experienced the things that you're trying to get to, right? So they know, they have the experience, the wisdom, the knowledge, and all that to guide you. And so when you find that right coach will help you. They'll try to steer you in a direction where you won't make those mistakes, right? You won't make the mistakes that they make. They'll be able to give you information that's beneficial to advance you, right? They'll be able to allow you to reflect and to think through things and to realize when, you're not being fair, you're being immature, you're not thinking critically, you're not seeing the whole picture, all of these different things. They'll start helping you to see things that you can't see.
Right.
And it's funny because I remember when I was in college, like for about, I want to say one season, I went without having a coach, right? My event coach, she quit, and I was coaching myself. And it was difficult because I was a thrower, and I don't know if anybody know about throwing, but it's a technical event. So when I'm in the circle and I'm throwing, I can't see myself. I only know where the discus is going. I only know where the shot put is going. And so I would coach myself, but my technique was off because I didn't have somebody there to see it, to help me. And so what happened is when I go to track meets or when I connected with my old coach from junior college, I would say, hey, can you look at me and tell me what is it that I'm doing wrong? Tell me what is it that I need to work on to grow? And then the minute they start doing that, you started to see things improving. It's not that I wasn't knowledgeable about what I was doing. I was, but I couldn't see the things that I was doing. But the minute I got somebody from the outside to come on in and to give me their perspective, everything shifted, right? Because they could now see the whole picture, right? And so that's the importance of having a coach. Like they could see the whole picture, they could guide you, they could help you, and they will help you to advance in the way that you want to go. The right coach, that is, right? Somebody they're not doing it for their benefit, but they're doing it for you, so that you could grow, so that you could become better.
Right. And that's what I wanted you to touch on, that because just such as life, period, having the right mentor, like you said at the end, that isn't doing it just for their benefit, that actually takes the time out to talk to you, not only about trading, but also about your spiritual, your mental, when you feel like you want to give up, just having that mentorship. A lot of people that I also come across are actually nervous to do it because they may have had a bad experience in the past, or they're saying, well, why do I have to pay when I can learn on YouTube? First of all, YouTube's not going to hold you accountable.
It's not.
YouTube isn't going to want to listen to your issues if you're feeling frustrated, because trading is about 90% mental.
Right.
So you get the skill down, but your mentality has to be right. Absolutely. YouTube can't do that for you. And I can't even say that a friend can always do that for you. That's why, again, having the right mentor, the right coach that has done it already and can, like you said, look at your technique and actually show you what you might be doing wrong. Because case in point, when I first started learning, I learned the strategy that Charles taught us, but then I was like, I know it like the back of my hand. And then my mentor was like, okay, so what is this, and that? I'm sure I'll know what it is. No, but what is it? And I'm like, and then like, well, what trades, he would ask, like, what trades did you lose? I would show him. He's like, well, this is why. So although I thought I knew the strategy like the back of my hand, which I did, but there were just small tweaks that I wasn't applying when I thought that I was doing everything right. And he was able to say, well, look, you're doing, that would have been a good trade, but X, Y, and Z, or don't do this next time, or do this. So that is the importance and the beauty of, one, having this retired in 365 family, and then two, having mentorship and not doing it on your own.
Right. Absolutely. And like what you said, that's what happens with me and Rayon too. And it's funny because, I was his mentor for years, and now it's like the role has been flipped, but it's cool.
How do you handle that?
That's also part of it, right? Where regardless of, no matter how old you are, you still have to be able to be in a position where a younger person could teach you, right? And so even then, like, we would have these conversations, and I'm like, man, I don't understand. Like, I entered this trade, I did this, it matched the strategy, it went with everything. Like, how did I end up losing? Right? And then he would break things down and tell me, and I was like, all right, noted, I'll not do this the next time. And so like, that's what I love. I just love the fact that when in moments of losing, like, because that hurts, right?
It does, especially when you think that you're doing everything right. It's like, hold up.
It hurts.
What is going on? Like, I even put a prayer on it at the end. So what am I doing wrong?
Like, I follow everything. I looked at my notebook. It matches everything. Like, come on, what's happening? But I love the fact that, you know, he's there to, you know, just always correct me and to hold me accountable and to tell me when, hey, Kristal, you need to relax because you're doing too much right now. So I love that piece as well.
Right. So what would you say to the person that thinks that they're too busy to learn this skill set? What would you say?
First thing I'm going to say is you're not too busy.
Period.
The other day, it's funny because the other day I was sitting down and I was just thinking about like what September would look like for me with everything picking up, right? And so I was thinking about it, and something that came to my mind was like, you know, I said to myself, if I could go as hard as I go for these universities that I work for, these other peoples that I work for, can you imagine how, if I could bring that same energy,
girl,
to my trading stuff and building my brand and building this team and, you know, making the time to dedicate to doing these different things, I could only imagine where I'll be, right? And so I think you have to first shift your mindset and realize that this is your life. Like, nobody's going to do it for you, right? Like, you have to make that time to invest in yourself. You have to make that time to educate yourself. You have to make that time to take the risk, right? You have to. Right. It's gonna be worth it, right? You can't, like, I always tell myself there's certain things that I have to do, and I'm afraid I'm gonna do it scared, because at the end of the day, for me, and I can't speak for everybody else, and before I do anything, I'm putting it into God's hand, and I'm believing that He's gonna do what He says He's gonna do, right? And if it didn't work out, then that means it shouldn't work out in that season, and it's gonna come back around, right? So it doesn't really make sense to like sit down and worry about stuff. So as it pertains to like just being busy though, like, you can make time. Like, you're not the mayor, you're not the governor, you're not that busy. Like,
look, they probably trade too.
Huh?
They probably trade too.
Right.
So.
Right.
Right. That's how the wealthy stay wealthy. They invest. Right.
You know, you can make time, like, get off of social media. Stop scrolling at nighttime. Stop watching TV. You know, stop watching those ratchet shows, right? You know, the time you would spend to watch Love and Hip Hop, start reading, doing something in trading. Like, you can make time to get up a little bit earlier. You got to make sacrifices, because you know what? At the end of the day, once you make those sacrifices and you elevate yourself and you're growing, soon you'll be able to just, you know, like, relax. It's like, right.
Then you can watch all the ratchet TV that you want, because now your money's working for you. But unless you have your money working for you,
right,
you don't have the time.
Right. You could be at cruising altitude. Like, you think about a plane, when a plane is taking off, right? It builds up all that speed. Like, it goes like really fast. And then once it gets up there, it's just cruising. Right. And so that's the same thing here. Like, you have to do the work up front, but the minute that you start growing in it, you become more mature in what you're doing and you understand it. You're building, your business is growing, you know how to handle stuff. You could just relax.
Right.
But to start off, just like anything else, like, and this is, I don't know, but also I think it's because too, they think it's a get rich rich quick thing. You're building something for yourself. It's gonna take time.
Right. I like to say,
put in the work up front.
Right. I like to say that it's not a get rich quick scheme. No. It's a grow wealth for life.
Yes. And that's the difference right there.
Right. And I don't know about most people, but one of the things that I often think about is I will not be that person because, girl, if I don't live out the purpose that God has for me, that's what scares me. Forget everything else that's going on in the world, is going through my life and not living up to the greatest potential that I know that he has for me. And yeah, it doesn't mean that I was always on track, which makes me think about it. What can I do differently? Because you always have the opportunity to change the trajectory of your life. But that is one of my things is, okay, what can I do to get me to that next level? And that's what trading has been for me. And I speak about this often, that it's going to give me the financial freedom that is needed so I can actually travel the world, and not just for luxury and for leisure, but to empower, uplift, inspire, do missions trips. If you know me personally, like my family, they know I've always wanted to go on missions trips. Always. So imagine having the capital to actually give towards those mission trips. So that's what trading is for me, is being able to actually give back. Live the life I know that I deserve, and also give so much back because I now have time freedom.
Right. I'm right there with you. That's actually on my list as one of my reasons why.
We should plan one together. That would be so good, because I know a couple other people in the family that would love to do it too.
Yeah, because I'm big on giving back and, helping out others and stuff like that. So absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. Well, do you have any last words to the people?
Man, y'all need to get plugged in.
Yes.
just keeping it real. Okay? Get straight to the point, because y'all like when we get straight to the point, right?
Right.
But no, get plugged in. If you want any more information, send either of us a message, and we'll be happy enough to talk to you about this opportunity, and get you plugged in to grow.
Right. And like she said, if you're watching on her page, get back to her ASAP, like ASAP Rocky right now. And if you're watching it on my page, same thing. Why? Because every moment wasted is a moment you could be making money in the markets.
Facts.
And it's a moment wasted towards your destiny.
Yeah.
So whatever your reservations might be about wanting to invest, that's what we're here for. We're here to talk you through it. You heard from somebody who has a very busy schedule, but yet finds time and still sees value in it. You hear from me all the time, so I know y'all tired of hearing from me. But I'm just saying that this is a place for everybody, and we love to watch each other grow. And while you're watching this, consider the 5 things that are most important to your life that you want to achieve. And is what you're currently doing going to allow you to do that? Whether it's with your parents, a lot of people want to retire them. A lot of them want to see their mothers living good. A lot of people want to pay off debt. A lot of people like us, we want to give back. Is what you're currently doing going to give you that opportunity? And are you going to live out God's greatest for your life, or are you going to live forever building somebody else's dream and not your own? That's all I have to say. Thank you so much again, Chrissy, Dr. Kristal McGreggor. Thank you, everybody else. Girl, I gotta put some respect on your name. I don't want people to get the game twisted. So, right. Everybody, you work hard for that. Everybody else out there, y'all have a blessed day. We are here for y'all. And I just pray that God continues to speak to you and guide you in the right direction in everything that you do. Bye. Let me see if it stopped yet. Yeah, I think it stopped. Okay, let me stop recording.